So you want to quit your full-time job and become a full-time freelancer. I've been there and I'm doing that. A couple of years ago, I quit my full-time job to pursue the unknown of becoming a full-time freelance photographer, content creator, and digital marketer. So take it from me, it's not that easy. So before you make the jump from your safe and secure job to pursuing the unknown and uncertain world of freelancing, here are some things I think you should know before making that transition. Over the years, thanks to influencers and speakers such as Gary Vee, hustle has become over-glorified. It's easy to think of the end result in terms of enjoying the fruits of your labor, sitting on a beach somewhere, sipping cocktails and enjoying the sun. But there's a big part of the story that people are missing. All the trendy phrases put to one side, hustle and everything associated with it just means a lot of hard work. It means the late nights, the early mornings, entire weekends lost sitting behind a desk or at a coffee shop working, lots of frustration, even more rejections, and even more self-doubt. So before you get into freelancing, get the general conception of hustle out of your mind and be prepared for a lot of hard work and nothing to do with sitting in cafes, sipping on your tea, hot chocolate, coffee, going to meetups, or just clicking away on your laptop. Yes, those things are involved in the whole process, but don't just be focused on those things because in the end, all it is just large amounts of hard work. Okay, tip number 2. Freelancing is extremely lonely. Now, before I ventured off into my freelancing journey, I already was prepared for it to be quite isolating and lonely. But I actually wasn't prepared for how lonely it really was. Like me, when you head off into your freelancing journey, most likely the majority, if not all of your friends, work the 9 to 5 rat race routine. So they're not on the same roster as you, they're not working the same hours as you, and they don't have to think about and do as much as you do. See, they have security and assurance. They don't have to worry about doing their invoicing, putting money aside for taxes. They don't have to worry about scheduling. But when you're a full-time freelancer, you have to think about all of those things. So it's not as simple as just going to the office at 9 AM, finishing at 5 PM, and then you just can forget about the day and you just pick up where you left off tomorrow. You're constantly working all the time. You're constantly switched on to what you're doing. By going off onto your freelancing journey, you're not necessarily going to have the time anymore to hang out with your friends, to do the things that you would normally do beforehand, to enjoy life as much. You're not going to be able to do that as much anymore. So you have to be prepared for that. And because of that, it's going to be extremely isolating and extremely lonely. So you have to be well prepared. Okay, let's move on to tip number 3, which is have structure. See, the beauty about freelancing is you have complete control of where you work from, when you start, and when you finish. You don't have to show up at a specific time and you don't have to finish at a specific time. But that also comes with a drawback. And that drawback is that you can get quite complacent, you can get very distracted very easily, and it can throw your rhythm completely off. You can start falling behind in your client work, you can start falling behind in your own personal work, you can fall behind in literally everything. So setting yourself a structure and being disciplined with that structure holds you accountable for all the work that needs to be done. And having some form of structure is also good for your mental health, because if you start slipping behind on things that you need to get done, those negative thoughts start creeping into your mind that, you know, you're a failure, you're not going to be able to do this, all of those things. So having structure is not only good for productivity, but it's also good for your mental health. So have a structure. Okay, tip number 4. No such thing as having your own boss. It's actually really funny. I love it when I tell people that I'm a full-time freelancer and their pretty much instant response is, gee, it must be good not having a boss. And yes, this is somewhat true, But I don't really see it that way, and I think this is the mentality a lot of freelancers need to get into. You don't really feel like you're your own boss because your clients are actually your boss. All of them. Every client. See, your clients do expect something from you in terms of a product, a service, and a result, and they expect it delivered in the time that you said you would deliver it in. So yes, you don't have a physical boss, but you do have people you're accountable to. So remove yourself from the mindset that you're somewhat your own boss and see that your clients are your boss. Okay, next tip is balance. As a freelancer, it's your clients who pay the bills. So most of your time is really spent doing client work because you need the income. But there's more that has to be done within your freelancing business than just the client's billable work. There's administrative tasks such as accounting, answering emails and phone calls, marketing, maintenance of your website and social media, and actually getting out there through various online and offline avenues to prospect new clients. So there's actually a lot to be done, and it can almost seem like 24 hours in a day is just never enough time. So you need to find a perfect balance for whatever suits you and your needs and distribute time evenly amongst all of the things that you need to do. Again, this will help you be more productive, and it is also very good for your mental health. Okay, tip number 6 is people just don't get it. But it's okay. How we often define ourselves is largely linked to what we do as a career. Normally when you go out and you start mingling with people, you start talking, one of the first questions they ask you is, hey, like, what do you do for work? Or what do you do for a job? It's easy to answer when you have the normal 9-to-5 rat race job. But when you're a freelancer and you say, oh, I'm a freelance, in my case, I'm a freelance photographer, you often get a weird look. Like they look a bit funny, raise an eyebrow, and they're thinking about, like, they're processing what you just said to them. It's like you're not communicating properly to them. They have to think about it. It's because they just don't get it. They don't understand what you're doing, and that's okay. The thing is, when you get more and more of those reactions, the more and more you talk to people, it can be quite off-putting. It can cause a lot of self-doubt. It can make you question what you're doing, and it can actually make you want to stop pursuing what you want to pursue because you're feeling so judged by everyone else that you feel like what you're doing is wrong. But as much as you feel that way, you have to understand that what you're doing, the path you're pursuing, is not wrong. If it makes you happy and it's something that you want to do, it's never wrong. So you have to do your best to just not let it get to you so much and carry on. We're almost there with tip number 7, which is, it's not always perfect. See, you would think that being able to quit your full-time 9-to-5 rat race job and pursuing full-time freelancing would be perfect. It's the perfect life. But more times than not, it's not always that way. Yes, freelancing will greatly improve your career satisfaction, but it's not the answer to everlasting happiness. You still have your bad days, if not more bad days than what you would do not being a freelancer. And that's because there's more accountability, there's more stress, there's more anxiety now. The weight of the world constantly feels on top of you because it's all up to you, and that pressure is suffocating. Therefore, you tend to have more bad days than good days. I just don't want you to fall into the trap thinking that becoming a freelancer will equate to a perfect life, because it's far from it. The last and most important thing that you should know before starting your freelance journey is that it's all worth it. Are there a lot of downsides to freelance? Yep. There's extra stress, extra anxiety, lots of self-doubt, lots of negative talk, you name it, freelancing has it. But the good always outweighs the bad. See, the thing is, I get to tackle work challenges that motivate and inspire me. I get to do work that I love. I'm in full control of my decisions. I'm in full control of my choices. I'm in full control of my reputation. I'm in full control of any relationship that I make. And I'm in full control of my income potential. But most of all, I get the feeling of accomplishment and satisfaction that no normal 9-to-5 job could ever give me. And I think that's what's the best part about being a freelancer. So that's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're looking to become a freelancer, I really hope this video was helpful. I really hope you took something out of it. If you would like to talk to me more about it, you can always leave a comment below or DM me on Facebook and Instagram, and I'll be happy to talk further with you to help you along your journey. But on that note, I'll see you in the next video.